My name is Nadine Francis Mercil. I'm a 62-year-old female artist who lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I've been making art since my early 20s. My art tends to deal with issues that I struggle with in my life, usually anxiety or depression. I use my art as a therapeutic tool to help me survive living in this world. I guess I would be considered an outsider artist, although I do have a college degree. I think the line between outsider art and mainstream art has recently become more blurred. Sometimes artists who are considered outsiders are often self-taught. I don't know that that's the case for me, but I think primarily why I would be considered an outsider artist is I'm outside of the mainstream. My art hasn't been shown many places other than the museum in South Korea and the State Fair here in Minnesota. The subject matter that I deal with tends to not be the kind that would normally be dealt with in shows and galleries in most museums. The art that you're viewing today is primarily my word paintings and the phrases that I have typed. I bought my first typewriter probably in the early 2000s, and I type verse or text whenever I feel the need to express myself. I am by nature very shy and don't share a lot about my life with other people, so the verses that I do share tend to be somewhat nonsensical. They probably don't make a great deal of sense to other people, but for me, as for most of my art, it's therapeutic to express my feelings and to have them on a piece of paper, so they're tangible. I have a collection of verse and art, and it is somewhat of a memento of my life. Some people keep more of a traditional diary, but I find that my text allows me to have a record of my life. So in the year 2021, I can look at my text and say, oh, that's how I was feeling in 2015 or 2010, and it makes me feel connected to those times of my life, and it anchors me. I've had a lot of loss in my life. I gave my daughter up at the age of 23, and I've had abusive relationships where I've lost hope and lost my sense of being. And so my art is a way of bringing some of that back, of giving me a sense of empowerment and taking control of the narrative. I've always had dogs. I got my first dog when I was 28. They're a great source of comfort for me. So when they leave or die, I feel very sad. I don't make much of an attempt to have people see my art because I feel that it's somewhat out of the mainstream and that it deals with subjects that often aren't addressed. I'd like to thank my Korean audience for visiting the Art Museum Versailles today and seeing my art. It's an honor and a privilege to have my art in this museum, and I'm very appreciative of your taking the time to come and view it. Thank you.
Lan hitungannya masuk ceng nawang jalan tasre dia tiga samiring ditambah 4 berapa sini tidak tahu tentang 7 ngajarin tahu lan hitungannya masuk ceng nawang jalan tasre dia tiga samiring ditambah 4
Today is very lucky to see her drawing.
Yeah, oh iya, kita mau beliin dia meja, lupa saya. Dibeliin meja lipat.
Dulu dia bilang tempatnya sesek, Bu.
Tempat apa?
Tempat
menjahit.
tempat menjahit. Satunya bagaimana? Satunya bagaimana? Apa?
Mungkin keliling.
Luar?
Ya.
Jalan. Oh ini
cantik ya Bu ya.
Iya, versi tangan.
Iya.
Jangan minum. Ya, itu dari bagus. Orang kakek saya. David Nyoman, kakeknya Yangang. Apa lagi? Apa dah? Saya tanggung jawab untuk pakanan Tanjung. Tahu? Kakek ngadakin. Saya hari-hari satu malam kerja. Karena dunianya orang dewa.
Makanya kan
Bisa.
tanggung jawab sama hidup dia.
Hilang. Itu ini kerang asam aja buat dong yang mulai fufu itu. Oh yang coba yang sing keba. Sini dah tahu. Dan tahu. Tujuh.
Kok cantik hari ini jegek
Cocok.
sekali.